everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons sometimes. And today in this video, I wanted to make a story time about how I advocated to have a problem solved at work. Excuse me. I apologize, I got interrupted by something, but anyway, this is a story about how I had a little problem bugging me at work, and it had something to do with the doorway to the kitchen being blocked, which I'll get into in a little bit, and how I asked my boss if we could make a sign because I got really annoyed because the customers kept blocking the way and not paying attention to me coming in and out, and it made my job a lot harder, and how I was super happy. My boss really liked the idea of I had to solve the problem, and how it made my job a lot easier once we fixed the problem for the customer standing in front of the door. So this is a story just to let you guys know, if you have an issue like customers blocking the way of you getting in and out of places, it's always good to advocate for yourself and talk to your boss to advocate for yourself. And then if you have an idea, talk to your boss and ask him if he likes it. And if he does, that's great. Right? And this is how important it is to advocate for yourself and how you want to do something to make your job easier. And this is how I talked to my boss, and he was super pleased with the idea that I had about keeping the customers from standing in front of the door. And I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 2 years ago. I was working at my coffee shop job. If you guys didn't know, I used to work as a floater at a local coffee shop. I worked there for about 4 years, and I had a really busy day that day. I had to wash the dishes, bust the tables, bring out food, and gather people's dirty dishes, get them to go bags. I was having a super busy day that day because we were crowded with customers. We had customers in the bar. We had customers in the front. So this coffee shop that I worked at, we had a bar in the back, and then we had a coffee shop in the front. We had people all over the restaurant, and it was a Sunday. Sundays were our crazily busy days because we had so many people all over the restaurant. We had people outside, we had people inside. It's just, there were so many people. So I was working one day, I was washing the dishes and also helping one of my friends who was working in the kitchen with me bring food out. Excuse me. Sorry, interruption. Anyway, she was having me bring food out, and she needed me to run a sandwich to a customer. Was it a sandwich or was it a yogurt? I can't remember what it was, but it was one of those two things. So she had me run some food out, and then she hands me the ticket, which is good because I don't remember names too well. So I take the ticket with me, and as I open the door, these people are standing right in front of the doorway, blocking my way, and I need to get through. And I politely say, right behind, because when you work in a restaurant, you're not really supposed to say excuse me to customers because some customers find that rude. The most professional way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to say right behind. You never say excuse me to customers. You just say right behind. This is so they know where you are and are more aware of your surroundings. So I say right behind, but they can't hear me because it's so loud in the bar. And plus the bar was pretty small and there were so many people in it. So I politely say right behind one more time. They still can't hear me. Then finally I say right behind, and I'm starting to get a little irritated, but luckily I was super calm because I was getting a little impatient because these people were not paying any attention to me trying to get out of the restaurant. So I'm like, but luckily, like I said, I did not reach my boiling point, because if I did, I would have snapped at this customer because they just were not paying attention. So then finally, this other customer notices me, and so he politely moves his friend out of my way, and I walk through the restaurant, find the customer that ordered the sandwich or whatever I was giving them, and I give it to them. And then I come back after giving this customer their sandwich, and I try to get back into the kitchen, but these people are still blocking my way. And well, actually, this is another person, a different person blocking my way. And I say right behind, but they can't hear me. So I say it another time, right behind. They still can't hear me. And then I finally just say right behind, and then another person politely taps on this customer's shoulder and shows them that I'm trying to get through. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And they move out of the way, and I go into the kitchen. So I get back to doing dishes for a little bit, and my friend has another sandwich for me to run out. So she gives it to me and gives me the ticket. Though I go to run the sandwich out, but I can't get through because these people are still blocking my way. These other people are blocking my way this time. It was just a different person. And then I'm getting a little irritated. I'm like, because they keep standing in the way. Then my friend politely says, doesn't say excuse me, but she says, sir, right behind you, she needs to get through. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So they move out of my way, and I get through, I walk through the restaurant and deliver food. And then I come back, another customer stands in front of the kitchen door, and I politely say right behind. They can't hear me. And then I say right behind again. I probably said it like 3 or 4 times because I'm starting to get a little irritated because none of these customers are listening to my words of right behind. I'm not sure if they understood what right behind meant, so a lot of people had to kind of like tap them on the shoulder to get them to move out of the way. Right, so my friend opens the door, and she politely says, sir, right behind, she needs to get through. And so the person pays attention. He goes, I'm so sorry. And he was really nice and moved out of the way. And I got back into the kitchen. And my friend starts getting annoyed because all these customers keep standing in front of the kitchen door, and they're not letting me through. Oh, she goes, I've told these people many times not to stand in front of the kitchen door because you're trying to get in and out. And I said, thank you for doing that. And I'm getting annoyed because I have to keep asking them like 10 times to move out of the way of the kitchen door. But I don't tell them to move out of the way of the kitchen door because I know that's kind of rude. I just use the code words of right behind. And my friend and I are talking about how irritating this is because we have told these customers to stop standing in front of the kitchen door because they are making my job really difficult because I can't get in and out of the kitchen. I almost said restaurant when I meant to say kitchen. Oops. Anyway. Focus, Mena. And we're both starting to get irritated because none of these customers are paying attention, and they're making our jobs a lot harder because they keep standing in front of the kitchen door. I can't get food out with them standing in front of the kitchen door and not paying attention to their surroundings. And my friend is getting irritated because she's getting tired of telling the customers to stop standing in front of the kitchen door. So we're trying to think of a way to solve this problem. Suddenly, I came up with an idea. I was like, hey, why don't I make a sign that says, please do not stand in front of the kitchen door, employees coming in and out. She goes, that's a great idea, Mena. And I suddenly remembered my mom had so I thought this was a great idea. And so, sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time telling this story. So I thought this was a great idea. So then my boss comes in to check up on us and he goes, how's everything going in here? And we're like, good, except for the part we're having a problem because customers keep blocking the doorway and we can't get out, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. But I did tell him I did come up with a great idea to make a sign for the kitchen door. So then the customers will stop standing in front of the kitchen door. And my boss is like, that is a great idea. Well, yeah. And I told him how it would make my job a lot easier for me to get in and out of the kitchen. And I told him, I know the bar is really small, but is it okay if we make that sign? He goes, of course, whatever makes your job easier. My boss was super cool about it, which I really liked. So later that day, my mom comes to check in on me to see how everything is going in the restaurant. And I said, everything's going great. And so I told her about this my friend and I told her about this awesome idea I had to make a sign for the kitchen door because customers keep standing right in front of the kitchen door and I can't get in or out of the kitchen, not the restaurant. Why do I keep saying restaurant? I don't know why. Anyway, focus, Mena. And so I was telling her this, and then my mom's like, would you like me to laminate it for you? So fun fact, my mom is a teacher, and anything she needs laminated, she has access to laminations. So my mom offers to laminate the sign for us. That's at the restaurant, and she tells one of my coworkers who's boss, and they're like, that is great. We would love for you to laminate the sign, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. And they were super excited about the sign and everything. And I was super excited that my mom had offered to laminate it. So the very next day, or is it that afternoon or something? I can't remember. I think it was the very next day. My mom starts typing up the sign. I write down what to say on the sign. My mom types it up clear so it makes it easy for the customers to read. And then she makes the font big enough for the customers to read. And she has me look over it and the sign said, please do not stand in front of the kitchen door. Employees coming in and out of the restaurant, out of the kitchen. Not the restaurant. Why do I keep saying restaurant? I don't know why. Anyway, focus, Mena. You're having a hard time focusing on what you're saying. So I said, that looks great. So my mom makes it bold enough so it's easier for people to read. And then she prints it off. And then she takes it to work the next day, brings it back, and it's all laminated. So the next day, I drop into work that afternoon and drop off the sign. And when I give them the sign, they're so excited to put it up on the door. And they thank me for the sign. And I told them, don't thank me, thank my mom. She typed it up and laminated it for us. I just told her what to say. So they said, tell your mom we said thank you as well. So when my mom gets home from work that day, I tell her the restaurant said thank you for laminating the sign. And she was like, you're welcome. And they were and I told them how excited they were to put it up. And she was like, oh, that's great, blah, 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 blah. So the very next day I walk into work. Well, not the very next day, but I think it's a Friday, that very Friday I walk into work and I noticed they had put the sign up. And once they had the sign up, no more customers stood in front of the kitchen door. And I was like, yay! And I was super happy because that problem got solved. And I was so excited that my job was a lot easier now that customers stopped standing in front of the door because of that sign. And it made both mine and my friend's job so much easier because we were able to get in and out without people blocking the door. So the moral of the story is, if you're having a situation like at work, like let's say customers standing in front of the doorway of you getting in and out, you should advocate for a sign so that it makes your job so much easier. It's always important to advocate to have a problem solved at work so then your boss could do something about it. And when you advocate, if your boss will do something to make your job a lot easier. So it's just very important to advocate about a problem that's bothering you at work so you can solve the situation, or so your boss can solve the situation, which is a good thing because it'll make your job a lot easier, so then that problem doesn't occur again. And I was very glad that I advocated to have a sign for the kitchen door, because I got super tired of customers blocking the entrance and not paying attention to me coming in and out of the restaurant, because it was making my job so much harder. And I was super happy that I advocated to have a sign put up, so then I could get in and out of the kitchen much easier. And they still have the sign up in the restaurant to this day. So that was a story about how I advocated to have a problem solved at work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.